And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to go down right now. The final battle bus is departing here for this week 1 qualifier, guys. And man, we couldn't have asked for a better set of games here, Reese, because the ballpark figure is the hype scale is pretty high right now.
Hype scale's pretty high indeed. We already know Commandment team is qualified, right? Let's not talk about them. Let's not talk about them. They're fantastic. We can come back at the end of the show. We can say how amazing they are, how beautiful they are, how well they've done all the way through. But second, basically all the way down till 10th is still in it, right? We have a huge amount of teams who can make a top 5. That threshold so far is 132. I expect that roughly to jump up maybe 15 points, roughly something like that. We'll just see. It really depends on how the teams in the lobby actually end up doing so far in this game. But with Muzmir and Buga currently in 2nd, Quiet Yoms on paper, the team we're watching right now is in 3rd place. It's getting so close coming into this final match.
Yeah, definitely. And Threats, Edgy, and Rise, talk about a huge jump up. Another 5th place with 5 eliminations. Really, honestly, what they needed to solidify themselves, an opportunity here to go ahead and just win this all and honestly claw their way through with the top 5. But yeah, other teams to continue to keep an eye out, of course, Jamper, Day, and Tragics. They have just been so hot. Niddlecast going to smack, unfortunately, finally fall just shy of top 10 and not exactly where they wanted to go, so they didn't earn too many points here. For Paper Qua and Yamzo, though, way to kick the game off here and find a llama. All right, and your last game could be a little lucky sign for them.
Yeah, obviously they have the advantage in terms of points on the leaderboard over Threats, Edgy, Rise, who's a little bit behind them, but still in 4th. Niddlecast smacked, as you said, same with Jamper, Day, and Tragics. Like, those 3 teams are going to be the ones that are so close in particular battling out, because I can see them all basically making it to endgame and then just relaxing, right? It's like, well, let's be real, they're not relaxing, but they're relaxing over the threshold.
Interesting word.
Yeah. No, I'll take that back. They're not relaxing. They're doing the opposite of that. Stress is keeping it on up. And I think, that top 6 might be the same way it looks out, but changes things up. But I also want to check in on Slacks, Acorn, and Jack, right? You got to wonder, they've been looking a bit interesting off spawn. They've been disengaging, looking really smart, doing really well, and then coming back and winning those fights, and they've been really doing well out of that so far, but they are just a little bit further behind so far, roughly 10 points.
For a team that's been contested, they are doing so good. Like, Slacks, Acorn, and Jack are doing so good. They're, again, contested, by the way, 12th, 9th, 7th, 7th, and a 14th place. And mind you, 14th place at 22 minutes alive with 7 eliminations. So that is a full-on end game there, right? Like a different play, a little bit more material. Anything could be the difference that allows them to go ahead and break into much more points there. So they are playing so well, and they're honestly hanging in for what it's worth here.
Yeah, and they're only one of the top, 6 teams that have a single-digit average placement, right? So they've got a 9.8 average placement so far in their game so far. 1 of 6 teams. Super impressive for them so far. That's obviously what's been pushing them up above many of the other teams. The elimination's a little bit lower than the teams that are up above them, and that's obviously the big difference maker for a lot of these teams so far. Muz's team, Muzmir and Buga, up to 5.6 average eliminations, which is so high for them so far. So it's going to be the critical one. We're going to have to see in this final game, potentially, Slacks, Acorn, Jack, or Jamper, Day, Tragics end up actually managing to get a good few more elims and obviously trying to get deeper into that end game and push themselves up, solidify into the top 5.
More fights breaking out here as we swing back on over to the Pleasant Park. Not so pleasant day going on for Laylam and crew. We're on the run right now. End up losing the high ground here to Quack and Brandon. And this fight, man, this fight's been going on round after round. And one thing I want to just briefly mention is how, I guess, lucky or like great the zones have been today. I know we had that one zone that went over the, the river bend there and then kind of made everyone have to come back up. But other than that, we've had like exceptional center zones, just like really good zones that really allow players to, I guess, play at the most hyper competitive levels. So all in all, just a great day of Fortnite, if nothing less, that's been played out so far.
That is indeed. I've been very impressed, in particular with the standard of the games in terms of just player numbers, right?
Yeah.
Like the first couple games were very stacked. You could tell how like cautious the players were, how much they didn't want to take fights, how much they just thought, right, let's see if our strategy works if we just try to get little tags here, there, left, right, and everywhere. And obviously, as the games have gone on, it's gone a little bit less stacked, but every single one has been so high quality. And EU, we saw game 2 didn't even have second zone storm surge because they were being so aggressive early on. What is it?
I was just gonna say it could just be like we said, and this is why the top of show is like key to this moment right now. Those additional crash sites, right? All the extra loot on the map is really allowing teams to have that little bit of extra space, right, to get the material and the loadouts that they need right out the gate here, and that could be the difference here.
Could be the warning we need. Brandon Chill's team getting into an interesting fight, but hold on, this is a very important team pushing on in. This is Paper, Yomzo, and Kwa, who obviously we just saw them. They are currently very high up in the leaderboard. They're third, 140 points so far, and if they're looking to get into an engagement, this could be a potentially risky play for them. But Brandon's team has opted to dip on out of there after losing a member. But there was a team pushing up in the back, and the Stacky's team, these guys could be super aggressive. We've barely seen them all day so far, so my guess is they're pretty far down on the leaderboards and trying to get into engagement. Yeah, they're 18th, so they need a huge game, and obviously almost an impossible game to qualify. And this could be a W key onto Paper, Kwa, and Yomzo, and given that they need points to qualify, this could be rough. But no, if you look at the map in the bottom right, you can see Stacky's team disengaging with Pose and XNB. Paper, Kwa, and Yomzo will live, I was going to say another day, but another game. Make their way through. A couple of materials wasted, no big issue. Heal on up, keep on moving.
Yeah, I would have been concerned if they would have blew through the metal, but they only wasted some wood and some brick there. Definitely expendable material as far as this area of the map goes. They're not gonna have an issue finding all those materials to bounce back. It just spawns in abundance here. But on the other side, full on fight going down right now for Joji, Knife, and Donnie once again here. Rough for them. They're taking us all the way into the zone. The zone's moving pretty quickly as well, so it's quite a ways away.
Yeah, it's a bit of an east zone, I think. We'll see if we see a full map view exactly where it is right now. It's Piggy's team, who another team. We've just seen an engagement after engagement after engagement so far, so they're not stopping anytime soon. Another fight with Skittles, not Nosh, another team who's just been fighting game after game after game. It seems like the same similar teams who've been fighting in this early mid game are just continuing that battle over and over again as the shot tries to be traded, and it's unfortunately a little bit unsuccessful. So for Skittles, he's gonna have to slow things down, pop a little big pot, and see if he can capitalize on one of the mistakes of the opponents.
Yeah, so far so good for Skittles here, but oh no, enemy cone comes through. He waits for the edit. Beautiful read right there, tracks him through the cone and hits the shot when it matters most there onto Eden, and all of a sudden he is looking very good here. Bounces right back into the game, has all the material and things you can ask for here as we swing back on over to the unforgotten storm fight of Donnie's trio up against the boys from Team Piggy, it looks like.
I really hope these guys, I really hope they have some med kits, because
Of course not.
you know what, this fight's going nowhere.
The last game.
It's not going anywhere on the leaderboard either, unfortunately, at this point. If these fights keep dragging on out this deep in Storm Donnie, you see he has nothing. He has plenty of shield heals, but I hope Joji or Knifer have something that they can work with. The other team, you can see them popping a med kit actually down in there, or maybe a big pot. So fingers crossed that something comes of this, because so far I'm not hugely hopeful, let's be real.
Yeah, all that Donnie, Josie, and Knife can honestly hope to earn in this game is high placing series points. They are well out of the money here for a top 5, so this is a fight just to take it honestly and close out the day.
Yeah,
but still, you know, you want to end the best possible no matter what, so no one's gonna
imagine, like,
everyone's gonna try.
oh, hold on, 2 eliminations, one onto the Cashew. I think there was a Storm, and next one to Hick, so that's just 2 elims super quick, because that's no medkit came through. Another player running, it seems like, at this point for all the builds, and maybe he can make this just laugh out. But no, I think that was a denied elimination down to the Storm there, so they're not going to get both. They're gonna have to go for the res, and Joji looks weak, and like I said, I don't think they have any white, so I'm interested to see the chain of revives they try to make as they rotate through.
Oh, this is a terrible fight right now for Tragic's Day and Jamper to be a part of, because they are on the brink of breaking into top 5 here, and it looks like Jamper's lost all of his shield here. Tragic's getting pressured as well. We heard that harpoon coming in from the other side here, and this is a team that has nothing to lose. Kid Crazy, Riftball looking to take this full fight, but the third party's coming in. This is going to support Jamper in his cause here as Riftball gets targeted from behind. So count your lucky stars right now, as Jamper Day and Tragics might have just gotten saved by a third party team unknowingly targeting the other team.
Look, there's one team in this lobby, in this game, I don't want a W key. it's going to be Tragic's Day in Jumper when Tragix has a gold charge in his inventory. That is not a mistake that you will make a second time. And you know why? Because there's no more games left. So it's just not going to happen for that team at all. That was massive. 3 eliminations pushes them up to 134 so far. So if Nittel, Kasker, and Smack don't have any eliminations so far, I'm not sure if we've seen any so far, that actually pushes them above them on the leaderboard. So pushing that team has actually moved them up into 5th in the qualification, actually above Threats, Edgy, and Rise as well, as they were both on 132. So if my mental arithmetic is correct, we have Threats, Edgy, Rise, Nittel, Caster, Smack all on 132, whereas Jamper, Day, and Tragix are on 133. 1 point above that, all of them on the threshold.
So I'm seeing the rocket science numbers fly out right now, right? We got this. The math was correct. I can confirm. I can reaffirm the math here. It's good. On the other side, though, back on DJ Agents and Kanata, listen, 116 points, right? So they are also just in the fight right here. They are in the fight, guys. If they can pull through with an end game here and maybe take out some of the top dogs along the way, that top 5 is going to really start to open up. There is so much opportunity here. This is the team we want to see, though. Jamper Day and Tragix, who just so happen to be right next to Nittel, Casker, and Smack. If we can just get a perspective on what is in their inventories, how many elims Nittel, Casker, and Smack go, that will go a long way, because then we'll get to really figure out where is this team, how are they positioned here, and how close is the competition.
Yeah, for Day's team, this is a West zone. They dropped Dirty Dongs, already favorable to them. They got the Storm Surge, like we already mentioned. So I'm betting right now Jamper, Day, and Tragix are looking super strong coming into this. They have to be so easy to get through the qualification unless they obviously make a fundamental error, which is super possible. We're only in the 2nd zone so far for guys at Nittel, Casker, and Smack. We saw them contest off spawn. A higher opportunity them to be really scuffed right now. In particular, they're in a close rotate, so they don't have to go too far zone-wise, but this is Spade's team. This is the team that was actually contesting, so we already know that they did not fight successfully off spawn. This could be another elimination going in for Transient's team. I think they may have even got the knock there. I saw a single body down. The shots traded at the same time. The cone comes out. A 33 white shot comes out. He gets dropped down into the box. You don't want to drop Tragix down when he's got that gold charge. I'm ready to see an over 200 shot with it come on out all the way through, and I think they're just looking to get that finish so far. They don't even necessarily need the remainder of these elims.
And, oh, look at this. Tragix does manage to find Voyu there. Okay, so that was the knock they actually picked up onto Voyu, but they did not get the finish, and Day gets punished big time here, forcing them to back up now. And they put it all on the table, but the cars just were not good enough to finish the hand. And listen, you know what? If nothing else, the tags that they got from this was good enough for them to go ahead and earn the respect from the opponents right here, which might still open something up. But Smack, Casker, and Nittel, we wanted to see where they were. They are just outside. I knew they were at the Dirty Docks. I saw them in our peripheral. They don't have a single elimination. They're only 71 damage above, maybe even less. It's just going back and forth here.
Remember, it says that they're currently on 0 points, but they're on 132, so 2 points behind currently. So they are potentially still in the qualification, because you've got to remember that Threats, Edgy, and Rise are on the same amount of points coming into this. But in the feed right now, Threats picks up an elimination onto Atoms. We don't know if it's going to be a full 3 eliminations for them, a full trio wipe, but that is at least push them above Nittel's team, which will push them out of the qualification so far.
And that's what I was going to say. One thing we know now for certain then is that Casker, Nittel, and Smack have officially been pushed down. They are being held underneath the top 5 threshold here, which that top 5 is all that these players are looking to attain right now. You know, it's not about anything else other than making it through to the final stage, and they are so close.
Yeah, I'm getting the update so far that Miro went down in the early game, has just been hit with a reboot, so they're a full trio, still on probably around 150 points. If my, well, here we go. On the straightaway, 150 points. Nice. An elimination. That's onto Zlam as well. A team who didn't have an opportunity to get really into the top 5. They're now going to drain a launch pad to hit this rotate, because they have a long way to go and many teams in front of them. And they're 152, remember. They see tons of teams up in front of them here. It's OMG Me's team, who we've seen quite a few times in the end game so far, but not quite made it into the top 10 yet. And this is still a tough rotate for them. Remember, this could be a ton of shields drained. Now look at Booga's inventory. No heals. Good. Anytime they get tagged so far, Booga will not be able to heal unless Miro and Muzz have something. Yeah, there we go. The minis are split, so they do have something in their inventory, but it's barely any. But the white HP player that behind them, that could be the freest elimination points that they've ever gotten, and they're obviously not going to look to go, I don't think, for the loot of that, and they're going to focus on the remember the word reload.
Rotate. Okay, they're going. I got your back here. They're making the rotate. Don't even worry about it. And that was actually TK who was on the Shadow Stone there. He was under the effects, but they spotted him out. They didn't drop a single beat there. They hit him with all those shots there. Yeah, it's getting pretty crazy here, Reese.
My brain and my tongue, those things are getting crazy because I can't remember the simple words at this point. I'm dropping beats when they are.
2 elims now for Niddle.
Hold on. Niddle, Casker's back indeed. 2 elims. That's 9 points gained. All of the teams in this game will have gained 5 points so far from placement. So they could be roughly tied. I'm starting to lose track of the maths now.
They're doing good. These two elims, yeah, these 2 elims are actually huge here. That allows them to catch up to the gap that was starting to be forced out and made exactly effectively tying them up with the rest of the competition here, keeping it nice and close. Trashy's going to find another one inside the feed there. That is big because Trashy and crew were also just starting to creep on up. But you know what? For Casker, Niddle, and Smack, it's looking a little worse for Wares right now. Smack is not pausing the heal. Okay, never mind. They're trying to get their heals correct here. Looks like big pots are going to have to start coming out, so not having any minis here is definitely a telltale sign that they're starting to run low on shields.
That's rough. I haven't used the jellyfish at the same time.
Look at this. There's mats right here.
They've just found an absolute gold mine. I think this is from where the old sideways was, so there's not going to be too many materials or heals in there, but they are going to be able to get something out of this. It's not the gold mine that they would have potentially hoped for, but they're starting to get held by the teams on the reactors in its Stevie Stacks. They're making a dead sad rotate through the full edge, but so many other teams, we see Day's team so close to them, right next to them. If these two teams get into engagement, this is just the run over for the other team, almost definitely at this point. But hold on, Smack is getting fully lobby focused by Mikey. The big beams come out, and you see Niddle and Casker trying to trade the shots back, and if anyone starts to spray onto Casker, it could be over. We know how little shield they have. They are so desperate for this right now. They cannot afford to go down, and with the materials they now have, the resources in terms of ammo, in terms of shields, they need to get some sort of refresh, and Calc's team is right next to them.
And Casker gets tagged again, down to white HP, and it's also worth mentioning Muzz, Miro, and Booga were taken out. They were also lobby focused, the same way Casker is being lobby focused right now. So second place is out. Mind you, they were only 5 above the other teams there as far as points go. That means there's a world where Muzz, Miro, and Booga do not qualify when coming into the final game in second place. It is just that close. Take a look at Day's points there. Day, who was outside the running, has earned more points. Smack goes down. Here comes the save here. But no, Smack is fully finished. Casker's going to get picked up here, and this is what we're talking about. Luckily, they do have a little bit of heals, but it is so close now for them.
Yeah, they're currently on 141 points. It seems like Looter's team's really starting to get their eyes open, trying to put the focus on, and Nell's got more materials to work with now than we had previously, but at the same time, those teams are getting super close, and it seems like a lobby spray's come out and potentially saved them here. Yes, as Looter goes down, so the lobby focus comes absolutely clutch, as Casker now is just one lick away from going down with the amount of HP. As we know, he has a medkit in inventory. We know there's the splash there too. So this could be a run for them on 141 points. They just have to stay in this a little bit longer.
Oh my gosh.
To see what they can do. I'm trying to get an update on Muzz, Miro, Booga, how many points they went out on, because that's going to be critical right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough to 1000% say like with certainty that they've done it. And even now, like this point threshold is just that close, and we haven't even gotten to the real placements. Here it is. We got to break into like top 17, top 15, right? We got to get up there if you want real placements. Look at Day, Travis, and Jamper with 5 eliminations. They've managed to really earn tons of points before we even reach the mid game. Now we're starting to get there to the back half of this race here, the back half of this tournament. Casker goes down once again, this time jumped on top of Niddle's. Not going to be able to get the save here. He's going to go for the full-on flyby. He goes into the stack, and up above is the team just sitting there, but it's okay. He doesn't care about any of that. He just wants to get inside, get safe here. He finds himself a little opportunity here, and it's enough. There's enough room between him and the rest of the lobby here to buy himself a couple opportunities to just again eat away at the clock.
So Muzz, Miro, and Booga went down 154 points.
Oh my gosh.
154 points. Gotta remember right now, the Nil Caster Smack started this on 132. They got 9, which means they are currently on 141 points, right? So as a solo, Nitzel, that little mark at the bottom, is currently on 9. You're going to need to see that say 22 or 23 So one of the two, because I'm not sure, it depends on how many eliminations they get on average, because it may go down to tiebreaker if they get 22. If you see 23 points there, they've 100% qualified through over Muzz, Miro, and Booga and push them out.
That's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to how many points can Niddle make as a solo. We saw Iyamzo in that position where he had to clutch up. We saw Kanata in the same position where he had to clutch up. We've seen every single team face their own different hurdles in this Fortnite tournament tonight, and it's only getting closer and closer. Here it is. The zone's going to pop. It's going to reveal itself. The rotates are going to have to start coming through, and guess who's got the lead on it? Day, Travis, and Jamper. This is everything they could have asked for right now. It's going to pull right back in the same direction they came from, so they're going to have, honestly, the advantage over most of the lobby. The pressure's coming in from up top, though. Everyone also wants to get a piece of this low ground layer for the free rotate, and instead, they're going to start cutting across here. They're also below the surge. Mind you, this is a very big surge here. 20 players have to go down. They're not going to get this for free. They're going to have to fight.
They're gonna have to fight for it. You saw Tragic's already getting fully beamed at the same time. So many players are gonna be up in the sky because of the stacks and the position that it's in right now.
Is this the
so
right
for
move?
Ace team, they have to figure out, can they look up? And for Nil, hold on, Nil's on 36 HP by himself. 3 builds left to his name. Remember, he needs to get a lot more points, 14 more points to ensure that he qualifies right now, because he's been kicked out of the qualification threshold, and he has got 1 HP, 1 HP and a dream. A blue pump, maybe hitting a 175 to get some eliminations and get him back in this. You cannot be any closer. But the storm, no, the storm is going to catch up to him. He needs to keep chopping through. He cannot stay here. He cannot take a single tick to this zone.
He's looking around, but no, he's going to turn around and instead gets found there as the storm surge becomes active. One of the first players ticked out of the lobby, and there it is. Dreams are crushed as he goes down on high ground. Calc trying to make his comeback story here, but we're going to have to come back to that as Day, Travis, and Jamper are also just 11 above the surge here. We were wondering if the rotate was enough. It looks like it was good enough to keep them alive here and in the game. For Degen, Kanata, and Agers, they have a chance here to jump back, but they're going to need a big game and big elims as well. The surge is active. Degen, you have to fight. Find a tag, please. He's 22 above now. 2 more have to go down here, Reese. It is coming down to the actual wire, and they don't have any heals.
They don't have any heals, but the storm surge is now over. The pressure comes away from them. They have the med kit, which could be huge because all 3 of the members of the team need to pop those whites, but that zone now starts pulling to the south. They have 0 time to do so to pop it. We see Threats' this team still in this on low ground, almost a guaranteed qualification from them. Day, Tragic, Jamper now on 154 points. This was the same amount of points that Muzz, Miro, and Booga were on before they were eliminated, so this may move them down. I'm almost certain that this team has qualified, but the real question is, who are they pushing out? Who are the teams down below them? And who has managed to clutch up big time? Is it Degen, Agers, Kanata, Slacks, Acorn, Jack? Is Jamper Day, Tragics, it's Threats, AGY? So many teams could still make it into the top 5.
Definitely, it is coming down to it right here. It's a back and forth contest for who can actually edge out these other players here. Degen, Agers do manage to get off both the heals that they were looking for. Those med kits were good, but there's no shield, so that means there's no time to waste here, and you cannot miss a pump shot. Where are they going to go? Up or down? They're going to go to get brought down. There was no decision to be made there. Agers falls, Degen falls. The full finish. Once again, it's up to Kanata here to clutch up, put up the points here, and bring his team all the way through. He misses a shot. He doesn't miss the second, though. That's on to Sentit. Get him out of here. He does not need to be in this lobby. They have made it. More points for Kanata now. Can he continue to earn more? He's definitely getting it here through the placement points. A big 120, Reese, and it's a knock onto Tragics. Kanata doesn't stop.
Kanata does not stop one bit. No materials, no shields at the time, no problem at all for him. He's getting ahead. His mechanical prowess is absolutely fully carrying him as a solo through this end game. Every single pump shot connects, maximum damage at the same time, and that may be a qualifying run for them, but upper ground with Day picking up 4 eliminations. 6 eliminations on him alone. His team with 6 as well. 12 elims for them all the way through. This is a 100% 100% qualification for them so far, but can they pick up the victory royale in the final game as it's a 2v1? They drop down, but the launch pad comes out, and it's going to be enough. Day, Jamper, and Tragix pick up the victory royale in game number 6 and 100% hit a qualification straight through to the finals as well.
Mind you, they were out of the running before that, just sitting in top 6 there. So this was a victory royale that they absolutely needed to just propel themselves up, put themselves into a qualification spot, and they did it.
They managed to do it. My prediction, I feel happy for
Huge
the
game.
boys. They've been so good this season, and already in qualifier 1, probably, you know, second, I'm guessing, based on the points that we've just seen so far. They've honestly put a true name on themselves as a top team on the region so far.
What a game that was, though, Reese. There, Kanata, my gosh, kept us on our toes here all day throughout the day. But enough from us here at the desk. It's been Monster D-Face and Reese Up calling the action for the first FNCS qualifier week 1. And to bring us on home, we're sending over to Zeke, Adam, and Vivid.
Thank you so much, MDF and Reese. Wow, what an insane set of just 6 games out of NA East. Oh my gosh. Individual efforts across the board. This is why we came up with that stat, right? It basically says, like, okay, when you're put in a situation where you have to be alone, you have to kind of operate, and how far can you make it? That's why we make these stats, people, because people like Kanata are running around saying, hey, don't even worry about it, guys. Is it just me? Is it just me here? All right, let me just get us like 15 more points. That's fine, no problem. Wow, also to end the day, Jamper, Tragix, 14 eliminations, but on top of that, Mikey's trio in that game also got 14. So wow. Vivid, everyone has decided for NA East, for Chapter 2 Season 8, Cubed, for qualifier number 1, we'd all like to show up.
I mean, yeah, that's what it's all about, right? Especially that first week. With all these new trio switch-ups, it's really important for these trios to come out and kind of show what they're made of, right? Show what they are capable of. And let me tell you something. Scented, Commandment, and Stretch did just that, right? There was a switch-up. Edgy is no longer on the trio. Stretch replacing him, and they came out, won that first game, and I'm pretty sure they have a really good chance to end on top of the standing leaderboard today.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think they are looking. I am a little bit hesitant. I'm worried about, you know, Miro, Mazambuga, because they went out so early in that final, that last game there, which is not the time to do it, lads. But however, great to see Reese's trio made their way through. I mean, if you're gonna get 14 eliminations and a victory royale, I mean that you know, equivalent to what? 58 points or something? Crazy. That is the kind of last game you need to really boost yourself up the leaderboard, whether it be semi-final points or points to qualify in the top 5 positions. But we can see some of the top victory royales of the day here as well. This being the final one here. Sensational work. We've seen solo plays today as well, and there we have our top.
Just look at this top 5.
They've just snuck in. Oh my goodness. There you have it. We've got Commandment, Scented, and Stretch, 198 points, which was Vivid's choice. You've got the likes of Muzmira Buga in 5th position, which was my choice. Jamper, Day, and Tragix was Reese's choice.
Yep.
I don't think... What was MDF's choice, Vivid?
MDF